Hello everyone and welcome back to another Planet Zoo video. Today I am going to be showing you how to start off one of your franchise parks if you're new to the game. So what we're going to be doing is going over the staff buildings, placing down your first shops, and making your very first successful habitat. So the first thing you want to do is obviously build out your paths, okay? So create a main entrance path and then create some winding paths that will surround some of your habitats. After you have that built, don't forget to create a staff-only path that leads to your staff buildings. The reason why you want them to be staff-only paths is because staff buildings will cause a negative impact on guests if they are within a certain radius. So you want to keep them away from guests. And you can do so by having it be a staff-only path. So up next, we're going to place down our staff buildings. There are 7 staff buildings that you will have to place down. We're going to use the default blueprints just to save time. The first one is the trade center. This will allow us to gain access to animal trading and exhibit trading. This is required if you want to obtain any animals. Up next is our workshop. The workshop allows us to gain access to the mechanic research tab. Next is the research center. The research center will allow us to research animals and diseases. Next is the keeper hut. The keeper hut is where keepers will go in to prepare food for animals. Up next is the veterinary surgery. This is where animals will go if they are injured. And then you have the quarantine building. If there's a disease amongst your animals, you want to send those animals with said diseases to this building. That way they don't spread. And then finally, we have our staff room. The staff room is where all staff members within the park will go when they want to take a break. Now, usually in the long run, I use the staff PR course as this will boost up the happiness of guests that interact with vendors and entertainers. But for now, we are going to use the social club as this will boost up the happiness of our staff. Now we're going to head over to our utilities. There are 2 utilities. There is the transformer, which is for power, and then there's our water treatment. For right now, we're only going to be placing down the transformer. We'll put down the water treatments at a later time once we have our habitats going, because we want to know where is a good spot for our water treatment to treat not only any water sources we put down, but also any bodies of water. So let's put down our first habitat. So we're going to head over to our barriers tab and put down a barrier. So I'm going to be using the wooden barrier. So I'm going to create a outline of the habitat that I want inside this area where the path is surrounding. Once I have that done, I'm going to put down the door for keepers to go inside of the habitat. And then I'm going to put down some windows where guests can view in the habitats and observe the animals. The next thing I want to do is head over to the Zoopedia. Zoopedia provides a lot of information regarding each animal in the game. The tab we want to look at for all the animals is the natural habitats, as we want to look over the minimum habitat requirements. What we want to do is head over to our habitats and take a look at the navigatable area. We can see that there's 3 types of navigation. There is land, water, and climbable area. We want to see our land area. So we can see that we have over 2,000 meters squared. So we want to head over to our Zoopedia and take a look at their minimum habitat requirements and find an animal that has a smaller requirement than what we have. Once we have an animal in mind of what we want, we're going to head over to our animal trading tab. So we're going to head over to the animal market inside the tab, and we're going to filter out some of these options because you can see that there's quite a lot of African wild dogs on this listing. So what we want to do is head over to the 3 dots beside our price, and we're going to search by conservation listings. This means that we'll be paying using conservation points. The reason why we want to pay using conservation points is because only animals that you pay with conservation points can earn you more conservation points at a later time. Any animals you buy using cash cannot be released into the wild and cannot be sold off for more conservation points. So make sure you buy an animal using conservation points. So what we're going to do is, well, once again, sort by conservation listings, and we're going to change the price listings so that way we can see the smallest amount first. After that, we're going to head over to our species and we're going to search for a specific species. So I'm going to make a few purchases here and get them into my trading center. And once they're inside my trading center, I'm going to put them into our habitats. The next few buildings we want to place down is shops for our guest. Now, we don't want to worry about food or drink shops just yet, as I haven't found them very profitable in the early game. So, the shops I did find profitable in the early game is the information stall, and of course, Looney Balloons, your merch shop. The information stall is very, very profitable in Planet Zoo. In Planet Coaster, the information stall only provides guests a priority pass, where in Planet Zoo it ranges from audio guides, adoption packs, cheap, normal, and expensive, and the final thing is umbrellas, ranging from blue, green, purple, red, and yellow. So I'm going to use my own blueprint that I've created up on the Steam Workshop for these shops. This blueprint also comes with a restroom for the guests. So now that we have our animal assigned to the habitat, we need to get the animal to said habitat, and to do so we need staff. So we're going to place down a caretaker, a keeper, a mechanic, a security guard, 2 vendors for our 2 shops, and a veterinarian. After we have them placed down, head back over to your staff tab and adjust their yearly pay. Any staff that has $1,100 a year, change it to $350. Any with $280, switch it to $150. We want to cut down their pay so that way we can gain a profit in your early game a lot easier. Because if you have a lot of staff, it can get pretty expensive very quickly, especially if you only have one habitat going. So we're going to make sure that our staff is low on pay, but I'm very happy as in our staff building, we have it set to the social club. Now that the animals are inside the habitat, let's take a look at their needs. So we're going to pause the game so that way our animals don't get upset and adjust their needs. So in the overview tab, we can see the following. So we have their status, welfare, and of course calling vet or calling the keeper. So what we want to take a look at is their welfare. The welfare is very important. So you can see that in their welfare they have nutrition, social, habitat, and enrichment. So what we want to do is get their habitat up first. So to get their habitat up, we're going to take a look at their terrain tab. Inside the terrain tab, we can see hard shelter and terrain. For navigatable area, we are perfectly good. So what we want to do is right at the bottom is the terrain distribution. So we're going to head over to our terrain paints and adjust the terrains inside the habitat to fit their needs. Once that is done, we're going to head over to environment and put down a few plants that corresponds to their biome and continent. Once we have that down, we're going to put down the hard shelter and put some bedding down, and then of course put down a water source and food. And if you really wish to put down a body of water, you can do so inside of their habitats. And now, once again, we're going to head over to our utilities tab and put down a water treatment plant. And we're going to make sure that it's in range of both their water source and of course their body of water inside their habitats. That way both sources of water are clean. The next thing on the welfare list you can see is social. Now they want a larger social group, so we're going to increase the population of this habitat. The final item on their welfare list that we want to take a look at is their enrichment. The enrichment will take quite some time to build up. So, to get started, we immediately want to head over to the zoo tab. Okay, inside your zoo tab, head over to vet research. Click on the animal that you want to research and drag over your veterinarian. The last thing we want to do with this habitat before fast forwarding time is putting down donation boxes and educational boards. So to start, we're going to put down our donation boxes around our windows. This is our main source of income. Shops will provide a profit for us to work off of. But if we really want to gain profit out of this zoo, donation boxes is where we want to start. After you have your donation boxes place down the habitat education board. So I'm going to put these around the walls by the windows. The next item I want to put down is the educational speaker. I'm going to put these in the center of the windows. The next thing we want to do is edit these boards to display the item inside of this habitat. For the speakers, you can of course adjust the range. One thing you do want to be careful of regarding your animals is the temperature of their environments. If you see them uncomfortable, head over to the Zoopedia tab and check their needs. Once you know what kind of temperature they should be in, either put down heaters or coolers around their environments. Once you have them placed down, you can adjust the temperature of these coolers or heaters, and of course adjust the range. For every single item in the game when it comes to research, there's multiple levels, but every animal is different when it comes to what you gain access to on each level. With our animal, we get a food enrichment on level 1 and a toy enrichment on level 3. Now we have just unlocked level 1, which means we now have a food enrichment item. So we're going to place down those in our habitat, which is a slow feeder. This boosted our enrichment to 50%. We now have access to level 3 for research. So this means that we can put down our toy, which is a sprinkler. Now the sprinkler will actually affect temperature of the environment. So I'm going to place it down in areas which has a hotter temperature so it can cool off those areas. But as you can see, now that we have our toy enrichment and our food enrichment in the environment, our animals are very happy. So this habitat is now good to go. So that is all for this video where we discuss how to start up your very first franchise park in Planet Zoo. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really do hope that I helped you guys out on understanding enrichments, habitats, and of course the staff facilities. If you do require any further help with Planet Zoo, let me know down in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to help you out. If there's other topics you want me to cover for future videos, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Before we head out though, I do want to mention that I do have a Planet Zoo Discord server. Feel free to join it if you want to discuss Planet Zoo with other players, or perhaps take part in contests or giveaways that we may have in the server. Of course, you can also join my own personal server where we have monthly contests, giveaways, park meetups, and so on. But anyways, other than that, I will see you guys later.